excited to be with you guys that could make it here live today, because this is a big week for the Meant for More Challenge. So welcome to our Meant for More 30-day challenge support calls. And it's exciting to get to see and get to know some of you better. So if you're here and you can come on video, it's an awesome opportunity, like kind of if we bumped into each other at a live event, for us to be able to say hello. And then when we can actually bump into each other at a live event again, yay, we'll have some more familiarity. Let's see, it looks like everybody has figured out how to adjust their name. I see Valerie and Shasheen and Lisa, Linda, hi. And you'll see Brittany is with us today. It says EA, that stands for Executive Assistant Brittany Conlin. So if there is anything that you need, that you're struggling with in any way, as far as working with Zoom or getting in touch with us for anything important, you can just use the chat function and private message EA Brittany, and she can help you behind the scenes with anything you might need. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so today, I promised, if you were on last week's support call, which was about making peace with sales, and if you, hi, Lisa, beautiful setting. I want to be where you are. Hi, Teresa. And if you were with us, great, you'll remember this. And if you weren't, you can always go back and listen to last week's support call. We really dove into making peace with sales. And on these calls, I really want to acknowledge you guys for showing up. So I always double down and layer in some trainings that you can use right away, just like some immediately useful pieces. And we definitely did that with making peace with sales, especially was anyone here when we talked about committed but not attached? Anybody here last week? Yeah, Elisa. Yes, Elise, both Elisas and Teresa. So I just kind of want to hear any wins, and this will help the folks maybe that weren't with us to adopt this one of the mindset principles we talked about being able to really transform your relationship with sales very quickly. And then we're going to make that turn and dive into your unique value here. But who remembers, and you feel free to just unmute and share, who remembers with the distinction committed but not attached? What are you committed to? Who remembers? You can put it in the chat or you can just unmute. Who remembers what you're committed to? Elisa?
Helping the people we work with come to a decision.
You got it. So what you're committed to is that you give them, that you do your job on your side, right? As the provider, the expert, the professional, the one with the knowledge, that you do your job to make sure that you hit the markers that person who needs your help would need in order to make a decision. So you're committed, whether you're speaking to a group, doing an event, or talking one-on-one with someone, you're committed that they make a decision. What we're not attached to is what decision they make, a yes or a no. I just got chills. I just got full body chills because this is the key to selling without being salesy and to being bold, getting out there with your offer. When you try to go for the yes, that's when we get pushy or salesy. We have an agenda, right? But when we're just committed that they make a decision, then we end up in a totally different mindset. We really go to the wall with people to give them what they need to make a decision, but we're not attached to yes or no. And why that serves at the highest level is that when someone makes a decision, you have served. You have helped them to move on. You have helped them to, okay, yes, I'm going to take this help and have this transformation, or you know what, I'm not, and I'm going to realize I'm just complaining about it, but I'm not actually willing to do something about it, right? So that's a big transformation for people, to take that personal responsibility. So yes, committed but not attached. That's an example of the powerful distinctions that we talked about on last week's support call around step 1 in the Meant for More formula, which is make peace with sales. Okay, we have Elisa sharing that there was quite a few people at a few minutes before and they were booted off. Yes. Now, many people on Facebook are trying to find how to arrive. Yes, we are accounting for that. Something happened when I joined and it said the meeting has been ended right after I got on. So it's all just part of the Zoom fun. But Brittany is over there posting this link, and thank you, Elisa, for letting us know. We're going to collect them. Sorry about that, you guys. We rarely have those problems, but every once in a while we do. So today, I promised, and as people are joining here, that we were going to, first of all, I want to do a little bit of claiming your wins. It's part of assuming the throne. And if you don't do it as an entrepreneur, no one else is going to. And it's one of the ways you get known. You know, out in the drift, in the normal world, we get known by complaining about things that aren't working, you know, sharing horror stories with each other. But when it comes with our unique value, you want to get known by sharing what is working. So even if it's just a little bit of ground that you took, you want to take it. It's how you gain forward momentum. So I'm going to just give a couple people a quick chance to share. What you'll want to do is either, if I can see you, raise your hand. If I can't see you, then use the hand raising function under the participant button. You'll see if you click on participants, you'll see a list. You hover over your name and you'll see you can raise your hand virtually. And the question is, you just want to finish this sentence. So far in this challenge, my win is. That's what I want to hear from you. And, you know, as entrepreneurs, literally, you guys can, you know, it's like you're sailing out in the ocean blue. We're these voyagers. And when you're a voyager sailing, you know, if you've ever like swam out in the ocean, you could swim forever and you look up and does it look like you got anywhere? It doesn't. It doesn't seem like you moved, right? The horizon is there. You could swim for 5 miles. It would look exactly as far away. And that's how like entrepreneurship is, and working in our own unique value. We can work so hard. We can swim so fast and it doesn't feel like we're getting anywhere. So how do you get that feeling that you're getting somewhere? How do you do that? It's very simple. You turn around and you look at the shore. Because if you swam 5 miles and you turn around and look at the shore, do you think you're going to see that you swam somewhere? Yeah, that shore is going to be like, holy crap, it's far. I've come really far. You're going to know it. And so the way you turn around and look at the shore to see how far you've come, and you guys want to do this outside of these calls, I'm just giving you one of the practices from the Meant for More book, is you've got to acknowledge your wins. You've got to claim the ground you've taken. So who wants to share? I'm just going to hear from a few of you. What ground have you taken since joining the challenge? The win I want to claim is. Either raise your hand or raise your hand virtually. All right, Teresa, bring it in for us there.
Since this challenge began, I decided which school I want to transfer to and have made progress in moving forward, even with all this chaos going on and all the uncertainty ahead. I know my direction.
Teresa, I got full body chills again. Good job. Here now, I've got the crown. I might as well use the staff. Congratulations. Good job. And, you know, see, it's like, that is a great example of looking back and seeing, wow, I made a decision. That was ground. Do you know, that was ground I took. And I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Stay with it. And, you know, next week in the challenge, not to get ahead of myself, but we're going to talk about action, the kind of action that spurs momentum. There's a lot of action people take that they like, oh yeah, I'm busy. I'm really busy. I'm moving. And you know what they're doing? They're jumping up and down. They're tired, their calendar's busy, they're jumping up and down. But there are certain kinds of action that has you moving forward, and that's what next week's going to be about. But we want to do that, of course, on the heels of really getting some direction around our unique value. Thank you. Shashina, I don't think we've met. I'd love to hear from you. What wins can you claim?
Sure. Thanks for reaching out. First of all, I'm here. That's one. Second, raise my hand. Third, put my video on. All very much of a big stretch for me in a normal day. So just saying that out loud.
This is our way we clap. This is our way we clap here.
And yeah, so it was interesting. I caught your last training the day after, and I had a referral that came in, and it was actually a really dear friend of mine's, good friend. And, you know, the call was great. We had a great rapport, made an offer, told her what it was going to cost, and I didn't hear back. And, you know, I've kind of had a very comfortable career right now. I've got client flow coming in. It's been 100% referral based, which has been great. And I also realized I'm starting to become a pond and not a river. And it was interesting as I was listening to you. I was in the garage working on a project, and I was listening to the talk, and it really struck a chord that my commitment was for her to make a decision. So I sent her a video text back, and I said, hey, it was a great call. You know, that beacon that was inside of you that led you to call me obviously was looking for some help. And I said, listen, you're part of the family as far as I can tell. And all I can tell you is that I want to make sure that you have the information. If you're not going to work with me, then maybe I can help you find the answer to the question that you started to look for. Well, she sent back this ridiculous message. She started to cry. I can't believe you care so much. I can't, you know, and it was just the authenticity of my approach that came from that suggestion. We're still in the conversation right now, which would have probably typically just fallen off. I would have been like, whatever, next, no big deal. And there's a commitment really there to have her get to a place of a decision, whether it's with me, not with me, or finding someone else to answer the question that she had initially. So anyway, that's it.
I love that. It's exactly what we're talking about, you know? Yeah, big hearts from all of us, because that is committed but not attached in action. And you can see that when you committed to her getting to a decision, that's what serves, right? All of us getting, which school am I going to go to? What, you know, whatever the decision is, that is true service. So when you start getting into our other models, like we have a high ticket selling model where we show you how to close that call on the phone. We show you how to use that mindset with a structure, right? When you start getting into models and you hold that energy and you put those two things together, you know, you'll see that the results are just exponential. And I also love another thing that Shasheen brought up, which is another distinction that we have, and I think it really fits with where we're going next week with action, is about being a river, not a pond. You know, when we have, you know, things are going well, or sometimes even when we're in fear, we become a pond. You know, he saw he became a pond because he had plenty of client flow. So he's just like, okay, I'm good in my pond. And we can also become a pond when we're afraid. You know, we want to get resources like toilet paper and hole it up, right? But there's not a lot of giving going out. And so that ponds are kind of stagnant. They get stinky after a while, right? There's not a lot of life there. And, you know, while there's not outflow of a pond, that without the outflow, it's not pulling in. So when you become a river instead of a pond, like he did with reaching out to that client, even after they spoke, just to get committed to her having what she needed to make a decision, you know, all of a sudden this flow starts because the giving pulls in the energy, right? Like the thermodynamics of that or whatever it's called. And that's why on our campus, you know, we tithe as a company. I personally, you know, my kids do. It's just like a whole culture here and in my family because of what that creates. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry that you guys got kicked off. So did I. But I think that this is showing that we are committed to our Meant for More journey. So thank you so much for your patience and finding
having another meeting, Lisa. Sorry.
What's that?
We was having another meeting without you. We wondered where you were.
You know, Brian, that's what happens around here. Leaders show up and everybody's leading. Next time, invite me.
Okay.
We'll send you the link.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for finding your way here. And we apologize. You know, there's just a little, all we want to do is a zoom, but we can't always. So we were just, we're here now and we were sharing some wins. So Shasheen, congratulations. I had some people sharing about what's opened up since they were using the distinction from last week called committed but not attached. And we have people you're committed to the decision they make, but you're not attached to what decision they make. And this is one of the biggest keys. You're not attached to a yes or no. You're just, when you get committed that you're the person you can help can make a decision, then you start taking responsibility that you are structuring your conversation, your offer, your talk, your event in a way that helps them to make a decision. We call it hitting the markers. Now, Shasheen, I want to make this recommendation to you, and I'll have Brittany put this link in the chat for everyone. I talked about it last week, but phase 1 on our campus is discovering your unique value, and that's what we're doing in the Meant for More challenge. Phase 2, once you discover it, is you want to move as quickly as you can, and it sounds like you're already there, into what we call nailing your offer. So Nail Your Offer is the first paid program that we offer from after the Meant for More journey, to take what you discovered as your value and start to put that structure into your offer so that you can hit the markers they need to make a decision on the spot. It deals with things like, how do you put in bonuses and limiters, and how do you structure the offer as far as how you're going to deliver it? Is it one-on-one? Is it group? Is it event? Is it virtual? So it's everything about the offer, where you're going, so that you can start making your offer. So I'll have Brittany put the link in here now. I can't remember the URL, but right now, while you're in the challenge, you get $300 off of that $497 course. So it would be just $197 to get Nail Your Offer and really start to use concepts that we're learning here, like committed but not attached, like your unique value that we're diving into now, and be able to pour those into a structured offer that does give people all the details that they need to make a decision. So Nail Your Offer, if you could spell that out, Brittany, is, no, that's the wrong link, Britt. If you could, that's a private call for people that have their offer, Nail Your Offer already. So take a minute and get the link for them to purchase Nail Your Offer, and then the coupon code for $300 off. Ignore the one that's in there. That's for a little bit more students.
Hey, Lisa, just a quick question about that. I feel like my offer of coaching consulting is nailed, right? The bigger, it's the big pie. I'm now looking to develop some tiers on the way up to that, and ways to work with people outside of the one big offer. I've got the one offer. I need multiple offers. Is that something that's going to help in that realm?
Any offer we ever do, I mean, we've sold, millions of dollars of sales with different offers, but we always run it through Nail Your Offer, which is like, how do you articulate the offer? What's the structured system that the offer follows? How do you put bonuses and limiters with the offer? And then how do you structure the delivery? So one level of your question is, this is anything having to do with knowing what your offer is in full. And then all of our other systems are really what we call, and this is something I'll remind you guys of. Hold on a second. I'll show you this picture. And this really will help you. Here it is. Let me show you how it all fits together. We took a peek at this last week, and we're really building toward this for everyone. Here you go. So Nail Your Offer lives here, where you know your irresistible offer, and this is key coded with our courses. And then after you know your offer, you really can decide, how do I want to sell my offer? So we have a one-on-one system where you can sell an offer, lead to your offer through a one-on-one phone call called High Ticket Selling System. Some people want to sell it through webinars and speaking live or virtually. That would be our Speak to Sell program, which leads to your offer, but you need to know what your offer is first. Some people want to do an online launch. That's our 6-figure teleseminar and webinar sales system, and that leads to your offer. And some people want to do live or virtual events, like 1, 2, and 3-day events, and that leads to your offer. But the starting place, so imagine if up here there was another circle called Discover Your Unique Value, you're meant for more. That's where we are. But once you discover that, you want to move into Nail Your Offer so you can start building what we call your Love Your Life sales machine. Now, not everybody needs all these gears in the machine. You might be someone who just wants to talk to people one-on-one and make your offer, in which case this would be your machine. This is kind of like showing you guys where you're going. Maybe you just want to do webinars, get one-on-one calls that are qualified from those, and then make your offer. Then this would be your machine. Maybe you want to do webinars and go straight into a sale, make your offer right on the webinar. This would be your machine. Maybe you want to do virtual events and make an offer from an event. this would be your machine. And they all fit together like garanimals. And we can get more into that as the challenge unfolds. So Nail Your Offer 101 is the place to start. And you're probably ripe and ready for that, Shasheen.
Thanks.
And Brittany's probably looking for the link right now. And also if you're in our online business academy and going through the Discover Your Unique Value course, let's see, I get Nail Your Offer that way. And hold on a second. Let me just check this link. I'm sorry. Must be, is Mercury in retrograde? Let's see. Yeah.
Well, we're going into full moon lunar stuff.
Something. Okay, just want to get you guys the right thing. All right. So let's get into your unique value, our topic for today. So last week I promised I would share us open with a story, and this story really says it all. It was the Miss Julie story, and you can actually hear me on the audiobook. If you go onto Amazon, they have a little sample of the audiobook. You know, it's such a great example of what we're doing here when it comes to, you know, our Meant for More journey. Here's Miss Julie. She was my daughter's choir teacher in elementary school. All the kids loved her. They didn't start school till 8, but the kids would get, this was a public school, and the kids would get up and be at school at 7 just to be in choir with Miss Julie. She had been doing this so long that a lot of the parents had also been in like preschool, you know, or an hour before school choir with Miss Julie. And when 5th grade was ending, and our babies were going off to be, you know, ending elementary and going into middle school, she had a recital. And there was all the different grades there, and it was the last day of school. So after this recital, everybody would be going into summer break. And prior to getting there, she had been emailing out, hey, I'm doing summer programs, and, you know, making her best effort to fill her summer programs, which always eventually sold, but they took a ton of work. So, here we were, the kids all sang. The kids and the parents were teared up because it was literally the last day of elementary school going into summer. It was emotional. They all didn't want to leave. They'd been with Miss Julie for so many years. The end of it comes. One of the kids brings Miss Julie flowers. One of the parents stands up and acknowledges Miss Julie. And then Miss Julie ends the program. And I'm sitting about 6 rows back thinking, I can't believe she didn't just offer her summer program. Every parent's here. We're all leaving for the year. There's no more stuffing flyers in backpacks. She could everybody's emotional. Nobody wants it to end. Like, oh my God, you know what? I felt so bad for her. And you know, this is an example of unique value. So think about this feeling for yourself in your own area where you watch something happening and it's like a tragedy. You can't stand it. They can't see it, but it's so obvious to you. So I'm just like, I can't help it. You know, my thing is like sales conversion. I could watch any one of you for an hour and just watch you stepping over thousands of dollars that you don't see, but I can see it, right? And that's why I get paid the big bucks in that. You pay me for that, I'll show you. And it's the same for you in your area of unique value. It's easy for me. So I'm sitting there, I'm emotional, my own kid's graduating, but my unique value is also sitting with me. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that she didn't make her offer for her summer program. I've seen how hard she's struggling with that. And now we're all leaving for the summer. So I make my way up. By the time I get to her, I say, Miss Julie, do you want to mention your summer program? And she turns white. You know, like in that moment, she knows she just cost herself, you know, so many hours, and such. She'll get it full, but it's going to take work. And the part she hates, the sales part. Now she's got to go make calls and sell it when it could have just been done. And so she grabs the mic. She's just like, oh, and of course, the guy who's running the mic, he's in the back of the auditorium, and he's already switched off the sound. This is always how it is when you're speaking from stage, by the way. So in Speak to Sell, we teach you a lot of tips. Like you talk to AV and you tell them, don't turn off the mic at the end of my presentation, because there's always something that you want to say and then the mic's off. So she's scrambling back, yelling his name. He finally gets the, she's going like this on the mic, like, turn it back on. He finally gets the mic back on and half the parents are out the door. And she's yelling, hey, don't forget about the summer program. Make sure to register your kid for the summer program. How many of you have experienced something like this in your own business or life before? Well, let me break it down. How many of you have experienced it where you were the one who, like, you realized you missed an opportunity? It was just a little too late, right? We didn't think about it. How many of you have, let me try the other side now, looking at your unique value. How many of you have been in a situation with your own unique value? I mean, it may be that somebody says something to someone that they can't take back. And if you're this communication expert, and if only they had talked to you first, they could have said something that would have forwarded the relationship instead of been like a hinge forever. So think about your areas that you care about. How many of you have been like me, sitting in the 6th row, watching something go down that you could have helped prevent? Someone's health, a relationship thing, a financial disaster, you could have helped it. And you're watching it crumble right before your eyes and it's breaking your heart. Raise your hand if that's you, right? So that's a clue. That's what we're here to talk about today. Because see, with my unique value, why I care about it so much, why I'm doing these calls, why I wrote this book, why I created Nail Your Offer for you guys, and then all the systems, is because I see that every day. And had Miss Julie just done Nail Your Offer, let's say, she would have pre-thought, okay, the offer is summer camp. There's a limiter. She would have thought about it. If they registered before they leave the recital. And so given that thought, she would have put out a sheet and a pen on the 80 chairs. How hard would that be, right? It would have cost her $10 in photocopies and a pen for each person. It would have just been under our chairs. And at the end, she would have said, hey guys, before we finish up, while it's in your hearts, go ahead and get your kids registered. And if they register today, they'll be on the front row for the final act. They'll get a solo, or they'll get an extra whatever. She could have thought about it and had some little fun incentive. If they register, I'll take their picture and send it to you. I mean, it doesn't have to be costly, just meaningful. So if she gone through Nail Your Offer, she would have had the structure of a limiter, a bonus, knowing, how to articulate the offer. And she could have filled her whole summer program right there. And then guess what? She can do what she loves to do, which is just teach the kids instead of spending so much time working on the sales part. Can you guys relate to this? So we've all been Miss Julie, even me, with this being my specialty. Oh, good. Brittany found the link. It's lisasasevich.com/nail your offer. And then you use the coupon Nail My Offer. You'll see it in the chat and you get $300 off and you can get started. It's a digital course. It'll take you about 4 or 5 hours to do. And it's me talking you through exactly all the elements of breaking down that offer that you can make and that you can inspire an on-the-spot decision. So anyway, so that's the Miss Julie story. And that's why, in my unique value, I see that everywhere. And when I finally, at 40 years old, 12 years ago, realized that stuff I see everywhere, if I could get it out of my head and into some structures that other people could follow, like if I could have given Julie a roadmap to just have shown up there, knowing her bonus, her limiter, and how to say her offer, like her life would be different. And so many kids' life would be different. And in your unique value, the reason you want to figure out what it is because it's already haunting you. Like that was already haunting me, whether I went on to create this amazing, business success story or not, it was already haunting me. So I want to hear from you guys, and see what questions you might have. And if you're just tuning in, I want to make sure that you have seen that there are, it all comes out of the Meant for More book. So, I mean, this will be like the best, whatever, $18 you ever spend for yourself and someone you love. You can get it on Amazon right now. It's back in stock. It tells the stories like the Miss Julie story that you just never forget. And you see people in all different, educators and health professionals and financial professionals and entrepreneurs of all kinds. So it makes it very real. It's not just comparing, looking at maybe what I've done, but you see it in every different category. And in the book, there are exercises. And then in the challenge that you guys are in, there is downloadable worksheets each week that kind of embellish the exercises in the book. So this is the one, if you haven't found it yet, you'll look for exercises for week 2, discover your unique value. And if you scroll down, there's 2 different exercises here that are really worth doing. One of them is that you want to use the pages that we've given you, and in the left-hand column, write all the challenges you've been through. Did you move a lot as the kids? Did you have a health scare? Was it a weight loss thing? Was it a breakup? I mean, there's so many things, near-death experiences. And on the right-hand side, and also your successes, your achievements. You write all those things that you're kind of proud you came through. And on the right column, you write down the skills, traits, or talents that you developed as a result of each of those challenges or achievements. And then number 3 is you look at it as if you were not you, and you ask yourself, if you had never met this person and you're seeing all this stuff in black and white, what conclusions might you draw about this person's capabilities? And I don't know if you guys caught this, some of you may have, but I had my 13-year-old and 16-year-old do this work, and we went live this morning. And I mean, it's amazing. One of the things my daughter shared was one of her biggest challenges was the divorce that my husband and I had when she was 10 years ago. And I mean, I didn't even know this. And what she said, what the trait or skill that she got out of it is she's very independent, which she considers one of her best qualities. Now that's a 13-year-old, but that's all of us. We went through something and we became something. And that is part of life school. That is part of your unique value. You became compassionate or resilient or able to pierce through. My son was sharing that he could he's very unsugar-coated, he became that. And you have ways that you became. And then you also have knowledge and expertise from jobs you've done, training you have, actual schools you've gone to, and life school in the area of relationship and spirituality. Those tend to contribute a lot. So that's one insight of how do you stand outside yourself and look back when your unique value is so close to you. The second one that I'll just point out here after you do that is in the challenge worksheets is this one. And this one is, I think, one of the quickest ways. Determine what you can't not do or see. Like for me, what is it that I can't not do? I can't sit there and watch someone completely blow selling their program when it could have been so easy. That was the Miss Julie story where, I meddle. I run up 6 rows and grab her and get the mic turned on and tell her, mention it. She got, I'm a Mrs. Better Way in that area. I meddle. I can't not. What frustrates me or drives me crazy when I see it, because I know it can be so much easier. You have these. Some of the other questions that the book really walks you through well is, where do people always want to pick your brain? That's a big one. Where do people always want to pick your brain? And it always sounds the same. They come to you and they say, hey, Connie, can I just have 5 minutes of your time? That's what it always comes with, 5 minutes of your time, right? I just want to pick your brain. And, that's a clue. So I'd love to open up and just hear from some of you on what you're seeing and where you need help around your unique value. Sometimes it's just boom, you're ready. This has been a long time coming before you met me, and you nail it. Other times, like with the interview you may have seen with my kids earlier, it's just a place to start paying attention. My daughter noticed she's super independent and really good at life hacks, productivity, man. She's got all her photo albums every photo she has for her whole life is in albums, like with the person's name as part of the title so she can easily search. I mean, it's ridiculous, but she's realizing like this structure, life hacks and productivity. So pay attention, so you may be in the beginning of the journey and you may be already just ready to pop. And you're just here really wanting to up level it. So who would like to share, what's opening up for you so far, or my question is? So you can share either of those starters. And you can raise your hand physically if I can see you, and you can raise your hand virtually if I cannot see you, using the participant button that if you're on a desktop, it's on the bottom of the Zoom window. I'm not sure where it is if you're not on a desktop, but you could find it, and then you'll see a raise hand function. So who would either like my question is, or what's opening up for me about my unique value? We don't have much time. We've probably maybe got 15 minutes. So if you're waiting to the end, we're almost there. Sandra, and then Connie.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Sandra.
I took I was in San Diego with you in the past. And
hello.
the big thing there was getting my crown. And once I actually did it, it has been growing on me ever since. So I found out that I am Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk.
Oh, and I love that.
What people really come to me for, to pick my brain, is always getting through the fluff. Like, what's the facts? Just the facts, ma'am. And I'm really good at sitting with their emotion and not letting them away with it, calling them on it. They get a little annoyed with me sometimes, and then they come back later and say, shit, you were right.
You just reminded me, next week is actually about assuming the throne. We're going to be crowning ourselves, giving ourselves an expert title like you did in San Diego, the Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. And, here's a great example with Sandra. Thank you for sharing that. It's a huge contribution. So when Sandra does that, when people didn't ask for it, they get annoyed, as she said. It's a Mrs. Better way, right?
Right,
like,
okay.
But when people pay you for it, isn't it fun?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, you don't have to.
I do need to get my package and price it and deliver it, because currently I'm just doing it on an hourly rate because I got a lot of gray hair. So I end up giving away more than I charge for.
Yes, but I would highly recommend getting into nail your offer as fast as possible. I mean, think about it, guys. With the $300 off, it goes from $497 to $197. If you make one sale of 1 hour of coaching, it should cover you, and hopefully you'll be making that offer for years to come. But if you have it already, go back through. If you don't, I would highly recommend getting Nail Your Offer 101. That's where you want to be. But that's a great example, because when they pay us for it, they pay attention.
Yeah, I do have it, so you're right. I have to go back through, because you know how stuff gets off to the side.
Yeah, listen, and also we're in quarantine. If you run out with your same verbiage, so part of Nail Your Offer is how to communicate that offer. If you run out communicating the same way you did 2 months ago, you could hurt your brand if you already have a brand. You could sound tone deaf. You won't sound compassionate at all, right? So you want to go back through Nail Your Offer and the offer communication module, because there's some adjustments on how we might speak our offer now.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Sandra. That's fabulous.
Thank you.
Connie, if you could unmute for me, please.
All right. Hi. Thanks, Lisa.
Hi.
My question is, how do I offer two things? So I have two different passions and two different things that people come to me for, but I'm not sure how to marry the two and still, sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Can you just tell me the outcome of each thing, kind of the one-liner on each one?
Yeah, okay, so one is I call myself now the Queen of Hope and Healing. And the reason for that is because when people come to me, they come away feeling so much more hopeful and like they have more of a purpose and a reason to get out of bed the next morning. And the health part is I can help them find out like just their unique path to healing for themselves. So, yeah.
Okay, so those are the two things.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a health part, and then there's a hope and healing part, right?
That's
So
right.
I'm actually modeling for you guys one of the first exercises in Nail Your Offer with Connie right now. This is the first exercise called Offer Communication. So I'm listening to Connie, and one of the words that some of the things that Connie just said, a lot of times I get credit for sounding so brilliant on this, but you got to realize I took it out of her mouth. Okay. I'm just listening, and kind of like discovering your unique value, offer communication. It gets you those words to use to attract your ideal client so that you can invite pursuit, so that you can contribute your unique value. So we're getting a little ahead, but Connie, there's usually an umbrella that brings those two things together. So for those of you that are looking at your unique value and you're seeing more than one thing, when you get into Nail Your Offer and you do this offer communication exercise and you see the specific words that come out of your mouth from that exercise, you'll probably be able to find the umbrella. So I'm very good at this, and I'm listening to Connie, but I'm just doing the steps that are in offer communication. I'm not doing anything different than what you'll see if you get into Nail Your Offer. And what Connie said to me is that there is a unique path to healing. And I think that's the umbrella, Connie, that there's a unique path. You're the queen of hope and healing, and there's a unique path to healing. And that unique path to healing gives more purpose and reason to get out of bed. It includes health. But like as far as a brand, and this is the kind of work we would do, you might come to like a $5,000 2-day with me and we'd nail your brand. But because you did the homework, we can do it right here. I really think that the umbrella for you is providing a unique path to healing. And underneath that umbrella, we have, your work on hope and healing and your work on health. All of that is giving people the feeling of purpose and the reason to get out of bed. So I don't see them as separate. I would own unique brand path to healing if I were you, as the outcome from your campus.
Can I just mention on that as well, Lisa, following up from Connie, that I was being coached, Sandra, because I do public speaking communication, and I was doing the financial. Mm-hmm. And as the accidents were happening, they became... it didn't matter whether it was counseling and emotional, which it often came out to, because everything comes back to our self-worth.
Yeah.
So within that umbrella, I thought every spoke I had to be talking about. Now I cut that down to just being the coach, Sandra, compassionate queen of straight talk. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you straight talk about? What do they need the straight talk about? So I would suggest that you would hear what their healing was that they needed, because you
well, I want to thank you. That, I mean, we're getting a little advanced getting with this umbrella, but, and Heather's asking, what is umbrella? It's just, sometimes you see your unique value, but it's in a few different places. And when you really start to look, like for Connie or for Sandra, though, you'll see that those unique places actually are tied together by some transformation on top of it. Like, yes, I help people sell without being salesy. I also have a unique value in like building these incredible structures that people can follow and get results. Umbrella on that is that people are just confident and ready with their offer in any situation. My clients are confident to make their offer, and it's because of those two things that I originally saw. They selling without being salesy, and also, so it's a process. My daughter shared with me in the kitchen this morning, for me, the love is prepping my kids for our little Facebook lives, because I'm learning things about them and they're learning things about themselves. And, she shared that she's super organized. So she sees productivity as one of her unique values. She also shared about these life hacks, which to her seemed like a different thing. And then she also shared about how good she is at scheduling, but like all that stuff is under this umbrella of like, she's got some kind of I don't know exactly what it is yet, but like a gift similar to me in systems and structure. Being able to break down the complex into the simple. So we're not looking for just an elevator pitch here. I'm never really doing that. We're just looking for like you guys to really be able to start grasping the transformation that you provide with that unique gift that is yours. And then in Nail Your Offer, we show you how to take it and put it into words you can use in your marketing that like draw people in. But we've got to kind of see what it is. So everybody's on the right path. Great job, Connie. You got the winning ticket today. Okay, let's see. I see Doreen. My question is, or what's opening up for me? If you could unmute, Doreen.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay, I have been doing the unique value exercises and also the book.
Good.
But what I'm finding is that, the imagination writing. I've been doing that. And what's been open up for me is, I did it a few times.
Yeah.
Trying to like meditate and listen to what's coming out.
Are you talking about the active imagination writing, Doreen?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this, you guys, you'll see this in the book. It's like a conversations with God exercise that is my number one go-to for getting clarity on anything, business, personal, whatever. I mean, it's so, I mean, this is how real, right? Like 2 feet from me, look. Lisa God. It's always here. So
I thank you for that.
So you tried that?
I thank you for the exercise because I think it's very good. But what's opening up for me is, I was going to do a meeting this week, which was going to be a Zoom meeting, but I realized I'm not ready. But from the work that I'm doing in the book, I feel that once I do it, I will be ready because, but I had lost a lot of weight, and I had a lot of lifestyle changes, and I always wanted to do something on health, health, like health is wealth, that kind of,
yes.
And also my experience, like in the unique, discovering your unique, there was a question that asks to write down all your experiences.
Yes.
And it's like trying to put everything into one. I don't know how to package myself. I think I'm so complex, because
it's natural.
Yeah. Because I was even looking at even from childhood and, like the relationship with my mom and dad and all of that, migrating here from another country.
Yes.
It's like you had me thinking that, wow, all of this fits into something.
It does. It's the thoughts you're having are natural. And I guess you could kind of say I'm a few steps ahead of you. Like the fact that you're having that come up means you're doing the work. Mm-hmm. And so the progression, right? Make peace with sales. Take the time to really dive in like you are doing. Most people never give themselves this time. And we're sort of, getting this collective breath to be able to do it right now, to discover your unique value. And then the next logical question, and you'll see, you just said these words and here they are, is, right here in your irresistible offer is, you're asking me, how do I package this? Clarify, package, price, and deliver your offer. Mm-hmm. This gets you ready to so that you can make your offer, the package, the price, the delivery, how to bring people to a decision. So, while you're in the challenge, when you come to that point where you're like, you know what, I want to go forward with what I can see. Like Doreen's, I got enough people around me that need some help with understanding that their health is their wealth, that I'm ready to, you're raring to get on there and go live, right? Mm-hmm. And the step that will make a difference really is what I've created in Nail Your Offer to go, I want to turn this thing into an offer. So the Meant for More Challenge takes you to making peace with sales, discovering your unique value, assuming the throne, which we'll do next week, crowning yourself, so you can really step into it with confidence, and then getting into action, different ways to keep the momentum going, right? And as soon as you are ready, like you're feeling right now, you know, you can jump into nail your offer to get the offer nailed down and start making it. Like when you're feeling that feeling, you're like, I want to start making money with this, you know, get into nail your offer. And we made it kind of ridiculously easy. Really, with my thinking is, if you make one sale, you know, you'll help one person. It should pay for itself.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's my recommendation. You're on the right track. It's a great example. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. You know, and here's the thing, you don't know to worry about, you know, it's like, there's gazillions of people in the world, but I mean, if Doreen could help 10 realize that their health is the path to their wealth, what a difference she could make for herself, her family, right? Like, even if she got 10 people that were paying her $100 just to start it out, that'd be nice for you, for them. And then you get to practice. They get some knowledge and insight that they didn't have, and everybody.
And you know what, too, Lisa? When I'm listening to God, to me it's God.
Yeah.
But when I'm listening to Him talk, it's like I keep hearing, you already have the story. It's already in you.
Yeah.
You know, you already experienced it. All you got to do is give it to. It's already there, ready to go.
That's the thing. And you'll actually, another piece in the Nail Your Offer system, first is how to communicate that thing that you're identifying. And the second, and we do get into this in the Meant for More book, in the final chapters, you start to touch into these things, is called identifying the system, your unique branded system, because you've got a path that you took to lose the weight and to experience that health and the wealth that's coming with it. And so part of the system of nailing your offer is picking your own brain and seeing, what is that path I took so that I could share it with another. So yeah, you're right there. It's really an honor to be here in this moment of opening for you. Yeah, thank you. I have a couple of announcements, and we have a 1 o'clock call. So just in 5 minutes, I won't be able to stay after school today, but we do have 2 more of these calls. I'll help you put on your calendar for the next, I'm going to have Brittany actually put the dates in. Brittany, we may have had to change the date for the last one. I don't remember, but if you could put the accurate dates for everybody for the next 2 calls right into the chat right now before we finish up. I know that's next Wednesday at this time, and then I can't remember if the final one is on Wednesday or Thursday, but she'll post that, and it should be in all your emails, and we'll be posting it in the Facebook group. So I want to make sure you have those. Keep going on this. We'll keep sharing now that we've had this call, and then we're going to be moving into Assume the Throne. So you know what you're calling yourself, the same way Sandra's calling herself, you know, Coach Sandra, the compassionate queen of straight talk. And you don't have to be a queen or a king. We're going to give you lots of other options. So don't worry about that if those don't ring your bell. The link again for getting started in Nail Your Offer, which a lot of you are ready for, and the $300 off is lisasasevich.com/nail your offer. And then you use coupon code nail my offer right in there, and that'll immediately save that for you. And then I have an announcement. I want you to put these dates in your calendar. And Britt, if you could go ahead and paste that announcement I gave you earlier with the save the date. In just a few weeks from now, a little less than 30 days, we are going to take all of this further, and you'll be really happy you did nail your offer before this, with an online event that I'll be holding for the students in this challenge and some of our other students called Monetize Your Mission Online. So this is an event that I have been doing for about 10 years, stopped doing it, and now it's like I just have to. It is these systems that are working. When you see all the people who are just killing it online right now, there are students. So we're going to be doing a 3-day online event called Monetize Your Mission Online. The dates in the chat there are June 16, 17, and 18. So you'll want to, I don't have the exact hours, but somewhere between, 8:30 to 5-ish Pacific. So you can kind of pencil it in. We'll be opening registration next week. We're only taking the first 180 people, so it should probably fill pretty fast. It's going to be based on a donation, which I believe the money will be going to Meals on Wheels. So I'll reveal all that next week, but it will be a very easy yes for you. It's really more about you blocking the time. And you're the first people hearing about it right now, aside from me and Brittany. And it's really designed to show you exactly how to design this for yourself. We're literally going to walk through, all of these different ways that you can lead to your offer, so you can design what we call a love your life sales machine, so that you feel confident and ready to make your offer. But first, we need to keep going here, over the next few weeks, making sure that you are gaining more and more steam with discovering your unique value. And then if you want to fast track it, get yourself into the Nail Your Offer program. That way you can focus mostly in that event on building the systems that lead to your offer. So you could be anywhere in the progression. You could be just tuning in, and that's okay. There's time. You could be already someone out there selling that just really wants to make their offers convert at a way higher level, communicate your offer more powerfully, in which case I'd recommend fast tracking into my Nail Your Offer $300 off offer here today. And then next week we'll be opening registration for Monetize Your Mission Online. I just made the decision, it was why this book was so close to me. I was like, what can I do? What's the most highest level thing I can do for people? And it came really, it came last week. And I've been just looking at the feasibility, and we're doing it. Yeah, and everything is US dollars. Janine's asking, so I know we've got people from all over the world. And if you have any specific questions, because I need to end the broadcast because we have another class, you can always email support@theinvisibleclose.com, support@theinvisibleclose.com. Okay? Let's see. Probably there's only one or two of you this would apply to. I'm going to post this link here. If you're a racehorse and you're like, dang, she's spouting gold, I am holding a 2-day private high-level diamond retreat coming up June 1st and 2nd. It's called Ignite. Some of you on the line here have been to it. I'm doing one more. It's virtual. And if you just want to grab that link and check it out, if you're someone you're already out there, you're rocking it, you found your way here, and you want my help with your branding, your offer, and your online path, check out Ignite at lisasasevich.com/Ignite. I have 3 spots left. They'll probably get sold on the next call I'm going into, but this is just the highest level of working with me intimately, aside from one-on-one. We just take, I think, 6 to 8 people. It's 2 days. And there's a couple of you, I think, that I see your faces that have been around a long time, and this might be the right time to get all that stuff straight. So I love you guys. I'm super, super happy you're here. Thank you for bearing with us and finding your way here with some of our snafus. If you are a student of one of our higher level programs, Speak to Sell, Event Profit Secrets, we are going into the Love Your Life Sales Machine call now, where we'll be working on those other gears. So feel free to follow me over there if you are one of our longtime higher level students that have been investing in our programs and just want to crank them up right now while you can help more people. Okay, everybody, thanks so much. Keep claiming your wins, and I will look back to see you next week, and also to see you right after this in our Facebook 30-day challenge. Keep inviting your friends. We doubled from last week, and I mean, a lot of you that are here, it's because someone loved you enough to invite you. So pay it forward. Pay it forward. All right, take care.